In this training, we're going to be reviewing how to enter a cash savings account into your client's plan. We're going to go again to our plus button, which is where we go to enter in all new information. But before we do, I did want to remind you that anytime you need to review the information or edit the information that's already in your plan, you can either click this down arrow to open up everything that's in your plan, or you can simply click on the category and open it up, click that item, edit, and then save. Let's go to our plus button in the bottom right hand corner. I'm going to select savings and investments, open up my savings option, and then I'm going to make this a joint account. So I'm going to select Lisa as well, and I'm going to call this emergency fund. This account has $20,000 in it. There's no fee on it. And then this is a higher yield account, so I'm going to override my default interest rate from plan settings and adjust it to 3%. I'm going to leave growth is fixed toggled on. If you have questions about what that is, there is this little eye here which you can hover over and see how that affects this feed here. It does maintain growth rate for this account in simulations such as major loss, so this would not reduce the account value if you were to run a major loss scenario. I'm going to do a contribution amount of $250 monthly. I'm going to adjust that. And anytime you add contributions, it's going to ask you to update the timing for those contributions. For example, when do these contributions begin and when do they end? So let's click update timing, and I'm going to say that these contributions begin now and they end when Lisa retires. And I'm going to go next to my withdrawal limit section. And rather than saying that the software can withdraw from this account whenever it needs to, I want to set a minimum balance on here. Now you can also do not allow, scheduled only, and there's a couple of other options down here as well. But I want to say do not let this account balance fall below $20,000. A couple of other things I wanted to point out to you is you can set steps on this account. So if at some point you wanted to change the contribution amount or the growth rate, the withdrawal limit, or the timing on certain things, you can do that here. You can also transfer in funds from outside accounts, and you can schedule planned withdrawals on this account. All right, I'm going to click done to save, and I want to go over to my assets chart. So to do that, I am going to click into my Let's See screen and go to single chart. And let's take a look now at my assets chart. Now that I have an emergency fund in this account, I want to deselect Lisa's and Paul's cash account and just look at my emergency fund. So we can see at the end of the year, they have $23,600 in that account from the growth and contributions. And you can see that account growing year on year. And then once we get into the later retirement years, that account never falls below $20,000 because we've set that withdrawal limit on that account. Another thing I wanted to show you is in year view. If you want to see the details on the growth and the contributions going into that account, you can go to your investments section and you'll see your emergency fund here, and you can see the net growth rate and those contributions going into that account. You can click into it and you can see the details of those contributions, the net growth rate, and you can use this slider bar to see how that account grows over time. And then when we get into the later years, you can see any withdrawals that are happening from that account and how that account balance is drawing down. I hope that this has been helpful. If you have any questions, please remember you can always click the name of your client in the top right, request support, enter your question into the text box, and share client access. Thanks for listening.